fans.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, the excitement of the fans. I think this is, our panel is probably as close to being a Beatle.
That's what I said last year. I'm
will
like,
ever be.
oh my God, I'm like a Beatle.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise you're looking online, you're in chat rooms. You know, how do you interact with the fans or hear back or actually see? You know, Googling our ratings just isn't the same as looking at those faces.
Right. So let's talk about this season because you guys both have amazing storylines. A lot of it's been about relationships for your characters. What can you tell me that's coming up?
Well, nothing. But we'll come up with something. Joe, you go first.
Well, one of the episodes coming up, I'm allowed to sexually eviscerate another cast member. I guess is how I would describe it.
There's that.
So there's that.
That's a good one.
Little Magic Mike action.
There were so many things I thought to say, and I edited all of them.
Please don't, Pam. I mean, Kristen.
Right? I know, I should be Pam. I shouldn't be Kristen.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking there's nothing little about that. Yeah, it is about relationships. I mean, I always see the campaign that the PR people came up with at the beginning of the year, and I think it's sort of separate from what we did. And then a couple months into it, I do enough interviews where I go, everything is at stake. So I feel that everything really is at stake. For Pam, you know, her maker could be dead. She doesn't know. Her life is at stake, and now she has a progeny that she's responsible for, and we saw her backstory. So it expanded this year for me. Pam became totally 3D.
And I really feel like I'm having the full True Blood experience. I get to have sex with a bunch of people. No, I get around sexually. I kill people. Like, it's pretty rad.
It's so awesome.
Killing and having sex.
I'm
That's what
kinda
True
jealous
Blood's
right
all
now.
about. Yeah.
I'm kind of totally jealous.
Full spectrum.
I don't. Actually, we realized the other day I haven't killed anyone on camera.
Really?
I know, I'm sort of
Yeah.
horrified.
Surprising.
You think, yeah.
Right?
Is that something you would like Pam to do?
Well, you know, I kind of look at the other vampires and what they've gotten to do, and so I think it was the beginning of 3 where Alex he has foil in his hair and he's ripping apart bodies in the saw room, we call it. And I thought, oh, I'm so jealous. I want to do that. I want to rip bodies apart. And I haven't gotten to.
There's still time, I guess.
Right? Right? We're going season 6?
Right.
Ripping people apart verbally.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I do.
Yeah.
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 You know, that's the more evolved way of
Murder by
taking people
character
down.
assassination. Yeah. There. So, yeah.
You're hired.
Done.
Let's talk about Alcide and Suki. They had their nice makeout session that ended with a...
Well, it was a nice makeout session, but there's actually an extended version of that scene that's on the cutting room floor somewhere that was
Really?
not so nice, let's say. Well, nice probably to women in prison. I was fully hoping, I was like, man, I'm gonna get a lot of letters from women in prison after this one. And then they cut a lot, shaved a lot out of it, so it's somewhere on the floor.
It was on the blooper reel. We saw it at the wrap party.
Yeah.
I'm
blooper
sure
reel.
lots of people would love to see that version.
It's pretty great.
Pretty hot, it's pretty great. Yeah.
It was hard on the set. Literally.
Yeah, the set took
The
a
set
beating.
suffered. Suki's house needed a little...
Well, there were long conversations prior to this season with Alan Ball specifically about what having sex with a werewolf would be like. And, you know, we both agreed that, you know, the girl wakes up in the morning and kind of does that thing and then, you know, does the cowgirl walk the whole day. You know, like, what the hell just happened to you? I just had sex with a werewolf.
And if she has sex with the werewolf after you've turned, it's just bestiality. But
We had that conversation as well.
I was wondering.
Yeah, I think...
That's a Bucky conversation.
There was. We had that conversation. Would they shift in the middle of sex and, you know... It gives you more. It's like a whole Kama Sutra, a whole other.
A whole Kama Sutra animal rights.
Yeah, there's a whole
thing.
PETA would be all over us. Yeah. Anyway.
All right, you guys are done shooting this season, though, right? You've shot the finale?
Wednesday, as of 2 days ago.
Okay, and True Blood is known for their like crazy finales every season.
Yes.
Is this one going to top what we've already seen?
In my world, it's pretty amazing. Trying to think of what I can say. You know, the authority is wreaking havoc in the vampire world, and alliances are shifting, and so it's very intense. I was glad that. Oh gosh, it's so hard when you can't say anything. Last year, you know, we had the big finale, and Pam shoots the RPG, and we shot that in a not very glamorous location. We were in La Puente. Exactly, no one knows where La Puente is. And it was a street corner there for 5 nights, and we had so much fun. And I kept asking, am I gonna have my La Puente this year? And so I'm happy with what I get to do, and
I'm happy with what I get to do. Yeah, this year's great for me at the end. I think my father, who's a very bloodthirsty individual, he's gonna like it too. So that's good. It's very wolfy.
it's pretty great.
Yeah, Robert Patrick shows up on the show as Alcide's dad, and he's there towards the end of the season. So our stuff together's great. So I love that. And I've loved getting to work with Dale Dickey this year. I think we've done some great stuff too. So she's around with me there at the end, and yeah, it's great.
But you can tell sort of from our reactions, because we read script 12, and then I was dying for script 1 of season 6. You know, so it's really good.
Yeah.
We have the same reactions that the fans have. We just have to wait less time. You know, we'll wait till November to keep reading.
But we have to wait longer to talk about it, which is kind of tough.
Right.
So I want to tell everybody everything goes. Do you believe what the? And I can't say anything.
I know.
And then I have to find tricky ways of saying nothing.
Saying nothing.
Yeah.
But we put in clues.
Yeah, we drop clues. If you went back and looked at the footage of our
Totally.
interviews at the beginning of the season, you'd be like, oh, they're so tricky.
I'm always dropping clues.
Yeah.
And since we're at Comic-Con and it is about the fans here, can you tell me about some surprising fan interactions you've had? Because you guys have really
Do your fans
passionate
wear
fans.
capes?
No, mine
Those are the ones to watch out for,
wear
by the way.
flannels. No, well, I think there's there's a hybrid fan that's now been born out of Magic Mike with the combination of True Blood.
Yeah, are they separate?
No, so now it's like
That's like a True Blood fan with less inhibitions. That's like a True Blood fan on crack, or, you know what I mean? That's
well, I now, where before it was like, oh, growl for me, or, be that werewolf guy, or like, come on, like, and then it's like, and then there's the fans on the other side that were like, hey, be Big Dick Richie, do like a little body roll. Now it's like there's a combination of like
Would you
werewolf
growl and
stripper.
help me?
Yeah, like werewolf stripping and like growl while you're body rolling and grinding me, So there's it's an odd mix, but I think it's working.
That is a movie that is meant to be made.
Werewolf strippers in London.
Can you imagine if you just obliged them and I'd go around biting people all of Comic-Con? Those are our big requests.
I'm just sniffing, growling.
But there was that girl last year at the signing who asked you she had a cut and asked you to lick it.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one.
Did you?
Did I lick her? That would be unhygienic. Security ushered her away from me before I had a chance to respond.
Yeah.
Well, then there was the hall pass thing that's been going on since that movie came out. So now it's like, hey, can my wife take a picture sitting on your lap? And you're like, what? And he's like, come on, man, it's my wife, it's cool. And I'm like, I'm not cool with it. I'm a little weirded out. And this is how weird stuff starts.
Was that a term before the movie?
Hall pass? Well, it was like the
Amazing
list.
if you're in a movie
The
that
list.
creates a term.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And do people expect you to be like Pam? Like snappy and sassy?
They do, and I feel like I could get away with a lot more than I try to get away with. And, I did a panel, and the guy said, say something that's like Pam. And I went, fuck you. And they loved it. And I thought, oh, how odd. That's the first, you know what I mean? That's wanted? Oh, okay. And because I'm from Wisconsin, so, there's a certain manners, and they're very sweet people. And I feel like I could be a little bitchier.
Let's do it. Starting now.
Fuck you.
It works for me.
Did it? It oddly works.
Yeah, I was like, I should be mad when somebody, but I'm not. I'm surprisingly not mad when you do it. Anyone else, I would be
That was
super
your
pissed off.
expression. You were
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm oddly okay with it.
Yeah, I'm all right.
That.
And finally, can you guys tell me something that you geek out about that gets you really nerdy and excited?
I geeked out about, we were talking about Trisha Helfer when I met her at one of these, because I was watching Battlestar on the iPad, and I was behind on TV, so I was watching it really concentrated. So in my mind, when I wasn't watching it, the ship was in peril, and I was worried about them. And that's when I met Trisha Helfer. And I was like, oh my God. And then she hadn't seen True Blood, so she was like, oh, thanks, nice to meet you, and went like this for a photo. And I went, oh, yeah. So I have this really awkward photo of Trisha Helfer somewhere. And then Malin Ackerman too, because Watchmen's one of my favorite. And we were coming into the signing as they were going out, and I went, oh my God! And she did the same thing. She was like, looking to sign. And I was like, no,
That's hilarious.
Well, I mean, I'm a big, I love art, and artists and things. And I'm a big fan of Shepard Fairey's and have been for a while. And we become friends because he loves True Blood. I love him.
He came to the premiere.
Came to the premiere, came on set one night, signed a bunch of stuff for everybody. Anyway, he made me in the image of the old OG Andre the Giant stickers. He made me this, which is actually on its way to me right now.
Stuck in traffic.
Stickers.
But on its way.
He made the Alcide the Wolf has a pack official Shepard Fairey sticker, which is on the way, which I'll be handing out to
That's great.
lucky fans at Comic-Con.
And
But
none of us,
me out.
yeah, we're not jealous. Anna Kendrick and I were like, no, we're not jealous.
I'm surprised you're talking to me right now.
I know. There's a camera.
She has to. Otherwise.
I mainly love
That
Joe.
fuck you had a lot on it.
That was because of that.
Yeah.